Yeah, has he got it? Fantastic.
Yeah, got it.
Fantastic.
Yep,
right then, guys, it's Blood on the Box again. And yes, what a weekend we've had. We've got loads to go through, as well as obviously the season 10 is now starting to gather a bit of momentum, so we'll have a look at that as well. Today, we have got one of the regulars on the Xbox, Wraithlord, aka for today, we're going to call him by his real name, Gary. You see, what an exciting name.
Hey guys, how you doing?
How are we doing? God, what a disaster weekend when everything went down, and I ended up counselling myself and counselling a lot of others with Bloodbowl withdrawal symptoms. Unfortunately, the PS4 crew got it a lot harder than the Xbox, because the Xbox lot was playing last night, and the PS4 was like, when is ours going on? And they didn't get on till this morning, bless them. But hey, there you go.
Did we get ours back first for a change?
Oh yeah, you did. You got something first before everybody else. Yes, you did. And obviously the PC crowd, they was as unsympathetic as usual, because theirs kept playing. So that's just the way it is with the PC.
What do we care?
What do we
Master
care?
Race marches on.
Yeah, you peasants, as they say. But yes, we got a lot to go through. So obviously we've got Gary, aka Wraithlord, but we're going to call him Gary because it's just a lot easier. And obviously myself, Bernie, and we're going to jump straight into it because we've got a lot to talk about. So the first part of the show is obviously the pole position, and I got a feeling that every week from now this might not change. This leaderboard might not change at the top. So it's a team called Chaotic Purpose, coached by Space Magic W. Oh yes, he's a lot of fun to play against, that guy. And,
it's going to be pretty hard to top that record.
You know, it's an immense record. I mean, I remember speaking to him when my Chaos were playing his Necro, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, but the thing is, Chaos are dead easy. After the first 10 games, it's just easy." I'm like, well, I don't think it's that easy, but he's come out and done done wonders. But see, that's what I like about Space Magic. Whatever he says, he actually backs it up on the tabletop, not unlike some others. So it's always good to see. But oh man, I don't know if you've got the roster up on this team yet.
I'm just looking now.
Let me know when you got it, and then I'd like you to let me know what you think of this team. I mean, his record is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a record like this on any of the formats. 30 wins, 5 draws, no losses. So the people with the 5 draws, they'll be thinking they're really good, won't they? Because obviously getting a draw against Space Magic is amazing. But
absolutely.
But the thing is, his team isn't a kill team. It's getting that way now. So people are going to start killing his stuff. But it's
we need a few casualties quick before all the claw
Nagel
appears.
kill teams. Stalk him. Just kill his team, for God's sake, because I don't want to play it. But what do you think of the team? What do you like about it? Oh God, we won't. We'll get our ass kicked.
Well, I like the way he's actually built a team to win games rather than get people to concede.
Yeah,
I really appreciate Chaos coaches that do that.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yes.
No comment.
Yep.
But no, like I've seen him talk about it on the forums and stuff, and he said it himself. He's built the team to win games, not to slaughter people. Yep. And the slaughtering people will come in about 10 or 12 experience points for a few players' time. Yeah, I'm sure. He's just starting to get his third round of skills on his Chaos Warriors, and you can see the Mighty Blow appearing there already, and that's not going to be fun.
Nope.
What's going to be really interesting is to see what mutations and stuff he goes for, if any, apart from Claw.
Yeah. It's a solidly built team.
He doesn't obviously appear to be a.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying, it's just a solidly built team, and like I said, I learned a lot when I talked to him on the show, and obviously talked to him off air as well about how to build a Chaos team up, and he was saying about the 4 Chaos Warriors must have guard, and like I said, if they got blocked, then they've got guard sort of thing. So I think what we associate Chaos coaches with all about the killage, don't we? People just want to destroy teams, and he's gone, you know what? I'm good enough coach. I don't need to get vast numbers off the pitch. I need to be able to control the game. And obviously, strength 4 guard pieces is just scary. And he's got 1 killer, I'm sure, who causes carnage. And it's always nice to get
that tackle piece is...
Yeah.
That's his anti-war dancer device, I'm sure.
I think it's anti-war everything.
Getting an agility up on a beast man certainly doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Especially first skill, so you can build him specifically to be the ball carrier, and he's done that really well.
That is key. Someone needs to sort this team out. I don't want to play this team. I'm at that TV value now where everything's going swimmingly well. I'm learning my trade, and I'm going to run into this thing, and I'm going to end up weeping. Got 70.
My problem isn't when I play teams like this, though. It's when I play teams that I should absolutely beat the living daylights out of.
Yeah, well...
I'm not saying I'd beat this team, far from it, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I've not played it yet, but I'm sure neither of my teams in the championship would be up for it this season.
Yeah, I played his woofers time and time again. Every time I span into his bloody necro. It was an absolute nightmare.
That wasn't fun, was it?
No.
I did play that team, and that was not fun.
It wasn't fun. I got my revenge by killing the wolf, so obviously, everybody was extremely happy about that. But and I did get a win against him. Now, I thought back at the time that was a good achievement, but I'm starting to realise now that was more than a good achievement. That was almost like winning a championship, because he hasn't lost one this season.
Not this season. But has he been? I don't know if he's been playing any other teams, but
no, I think he's just been rocking with this.
This Chaos team's done very well.
Oh yeah, it's filthy. It's filthy. We don't need people like him showing the rest of us up. He should be disqualified, or at least throw a few games to me, at least. But yeah, I mean, it just shows you that, doesn't it? You don't have to have a kill team. You can win without a kill team. No. He's got a nice, like I say, he's got a nice ball carrier. He's got his dirty player. He's got his 4 guard pieces, and he's now starting to get some mighty blow and stuff like that. And my point is I see this a lot. Especially when I'm playing Chaos, and this isn't him, because he's obviously played a lot of good players, but I usually see a lot of these Chaos teams on the PS4 where all they want to do is grief or destroy the other team, and you see them play the easy teams or the ogres or the halflings, and the ramp up on the XP, like, oh my god, in about a week's time I'm going to be going against this guy. Can't play for shit, but guess what? It'll just wreck everyone's
He's
team.
Going to kill half my players, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I could win 2-0, but I'm going to have no one left. And it's alright if you're elves and stuff, because you can just dodge your way, but I've tried that with Dark Elves, and obviously, as I learned, obviously, the game we had with Dark Elves, I roll a lot of ones. And when you roll a lot of ones, the rest of your men are like,
yes, I have that bad habit as well.
Yeah, so I sort of I go from the thing of I'll play Bash, and they're like, you know what, this season I'm going to try Agility, and then I'll curse, because I'll roll double ones galore, and so. But it's good. It's good to see Space Magic do this. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen if someone beats him. I don't know if we're going to have a party, or the guy will be knighted, or something will happen. Or
it depends who it is, really.
Yeah. Give him a free ticket to the World Cup, or no expenses trip around the world. Because I think whoever beats him deserves something. But this team. I mean, the thing is,
hopefully, what would be really, really harsh if it was in the grand final.
Do he'll do really the Patriots harsh. In the American football. Do the Patriots undefeated till the final, then lose. Yeah, that would be cruel. Yeah. That would be cruel. I mean, the
ultimate cruelty.
I mean, the thing is, dice. It's a dice game, so anything can happen. Obviously, there's still a lot of other good players who could beat him. It's just that he's just very consistent. He very, very rarely makes a mistake. Where a lot of us, we will make. But
when you look at his team, like, it does give you a little bit of hope. Because you're like, well, there's nothing. Like, yeah, fair enough. That front line's pretty hard.
Yeah.
But it's not, there's nowhere where you're like, a good Skaven team with a movement 10 player, or, even a good Lizardman team, or, something like that couldn't beat this team. Like, if I had an 1800 rated Lizardman team, I reckon I'd be in with a chance.
Yeah.
Which kind of shows, like, which makes him look even better, to be honest, in my opinion, as a coach, because, it's, as I said, it's not just, I have 6 guys with Mighty Blow and Claw. Yeah. And you will concede, or you will die.
Yeah. Yeah.
So well done to the lad.
He is. I mean, like, he is a good player. I mean, I obviously, I'm not going to go too much into Cass today. I never try not to, but I spoke to him about this guy, because
I'm good with that.
Because I asked him, because obviously, Cass is known as, or he likes to think he's the best. He's the ultimate predator as Chaos. So I asked him this genuine question. I'm like, look, you coming on the Xbox, you got to be Chaos, but mate, you're not going to get top spot, because you ain't catching Space. I said to him, Space is a very good player, and he goes, yeah, well, the Xbox, it's easy. And I'm like, how can you say that?
Yeah, of course he does.
How can you say that about that record? That record is good on anything. That I don't even think I've even seen on the PC. And you know, and this isn't just about him, it's about other people as well. I get so annoyed when people turn around and say, oh, it's on the Xbox. Oh, it's on. There's bloody good players on the Xbox. A lot of the time,
absolutely.
I have more problems on the Xbox than I do on the PS4 because there's less players, but they're better, you know, they're good quality. You know, there's sometimes on the PS4, well, I'll just get a free wrap. You know, but on the Xbox, it's very rare I get a free wrap.
Well, look, we've seen that in the finals in the previous seasons, haven't we? You know, when it, like, fair enough, when it comes to, I mean, as we were discussing before we started, you know, it's a smaller group on the Xbox. It is. It just is, you know, and so that doesn't necessarily mean the proportion of good players to bad players is any different than on the PC or on the Xbox. It just means when you're randomly spinning, there's just less of an overall general pool.
Yeah.
You know, your chances of playing a superstar or a Muppet are no better or worse, in my opinion, on any system.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's it. I mean, it just annoys me. Stuff like that. I mean, I just, I don't know. I mean, when I
well, you know me, I'm prime. Oh.
Go on. So I'm just saying, when I came onto the Xbox, people said, "Oh yeah, you know, it's so easy, and all that sort of stuff." And obviously, Cass came out and said, "I'm going to the Xbox, easy money." And you know, that's what basically driven me to come across first off, because I'm like, no.
How much of it did he get again?
How much cash did he get?
How much of it did he get?
He didn't get any cash.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
He got beat by Chump, who's not very good at Bloodbowl. So hey, you know, it's one of those things. But it happens with the PC crowd as well. They come up to the PS4, they think it's easy, and then they go back with the tail between their legs. Ironically, and this is really funny, the ironic thing is the best player to actually come over to the PS4 has been an Xbox player. He's had the most success coming over. He wasn't a PC player; it was an Xbox player. Is that
Steven?
Yeah. So, you know, this thing about, Xbox,
yeah, he's good. He's very good.
Exactly, and I know this, but this is what I'm saying. It's like people are like, oh, well, you know, they aren't very good. Oh, right, okay, so the most successful console/PC player to come across to the PS4 is an Xbox player. So that should tell you, there is good players there, and it just gets on my wick that there's...
Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, I'm primarily an Xbox player.
People should respect.
So for me, that's...
People should respect they should respect people. Why people have to be a dick about it and insult people really gets on my tits, because it's like, if people insult me, you ain't gonna make me change my game. If anything, you're gonna make me want to beat you even harder. You know, and to me it's like, if I'm beaten, like, you know, Cass beat me a few days ago, I was like, well done. I played awful second half, and you played really good. Well done. And that's how I'll do it. Even if I don't get on with people, I will always, you know, I'm not one of these who'll always go, oh yeah, you can't. No one can beat me. Only the dice can beat me, because that's not true. You know, I just
absolutely.
And this is why I like the consoles. Apart from a very few people, the community on the consoles is fantastic. They're so nice. Yeah. And everyone gets around. They know
that's what brought me back
together.
to it, man.
Yeah. It is, isn't it? It's the community.
You know, like I used to play. I mainly played tabletop for years and years and years, and then when I started playing on Xbox, I was playing in the old NAF League all the time, and it was just concede after concede after chaos kill team after chaos kill team.
Yeah.
But then when I found the Fabble League and stuff like that, it was just a much nicer community.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. What keeps games going. Is that, I mean, obviously I'm not in the Fabble, but I've heard of it. But if you didn't have things like that, then the games would die. And this is it. Games like this on a console, it's all about the community and the admins and everyone working, pulling together, and people giving time up to make it what it is. And it just annoys me when people, the few bad apples, try and ruin it for the rest of us. I mean, I think most of us are like, just ignore people these days and stuff. But as
I said before, you get that in every community.
See, I'm lucky.
Like, there's always going to be that one idiot.
Yeah, Unless I go on the PC, and like I said, there's a lot of good PC players there. But every time I might play a couple of games a season on the PC, and every time I do, I've got people wishing I died of AIDS. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna hack you and stuff like this. I'm like, holy crap! I never get any of that on the PS4,
calm
Xbox.
down, people. Yeah,
and then I've got the PC. And it's like, you must die.
I've got into it a few times with people, but nothing anywhere near to that extreme. You know, I mean, my first ever game in Fabble, I had a proper doozy with one of the other guys. And it was, as you said, it was, oh, you didn't beat me, the dice beat me. And I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, you can.
But that's
dice.
even that was nowhere near to that level. That was just each other, giving each other a bit of shit after the result.
Yeah, you get that. I mean, I moan loads of space. He likes it when I moan to him. Take that whichever way you want, people.
Oh, don't get me wrong. That doesn't stop me moaning about my dice.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a Blood Bowl coach alive that doesn't do that.
No. I mean, that's it. I mean, I think it's just one of those things. But this happens. It's a dice game. There's going to be times when we will have bad games. It's just simple as that. Is it frustrating? Yes.
Oh God, yes.
The better players seem to be able to get through it. And
come and watch me roll dice for.
Yeah. Well, I saw you roll dice against me in the last.
You saw me roll dice, actually. I was going to say.
And that was impressive.
What
that was impressive.
Failing almost 30% of my dodges on 2+s or something. I think the dice log said.
Do you know? It was
that takes skill. That takes real skill.
I tell you, people say, "Bernie, you're never happy." I was looking at all them knockouts in my box, and I was like, I was like, oh, if a few of them were just badly hurt, I could have got some XP. But I'm not used to knocking people out. Oh yeah, that's the fifth one off the pitch.
You're a glass half empty person, aren't you, Bernie?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm like, a few of them should have been injuries. But obviously,
I was sitting there thinking the complete opposite for some bizarre reason.
Was you like, God damn it, we're armor 8, man. He's got no mighty blow. Why are they going off the pitch?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Why the hell are my players getting knocked out every other block?
It's typical. I'm moaning because I've only knocked your players out, and you're like, God damn it! You have every right to moan, and there's me just being miserable. It was. I could sympathise with you because, like I said, every time I try Dark Elves or something like that, I just roll ones, and it's like, for God's sake, man, stop rolling
ones. For me,
ones.
it's Wood Elves. See, I'm normally all right. I'm normally all right with Dark Elves, but me and Wood Elves just don't get along. Like. I've tried. I've even spoke to Lee and like, what the hell about? I'm not doing anything wrong. It's just Nuffle doesn't want me to play Wood Elves.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've tripped over and killed my own War Dancer and re-rolled the Apothecary and still killed him and just gone awesome.
Oh man.
There's that team gone.
do you think Apothecary should automatically work? Are you quite happy for the randomness?
I love the random element in Blood Bowl as much as it's frustrating sometimes. As much as I mean, I've literally, I've destroyed controllers over games of Blood Bowl. I literally have. And, as frustrating as it can be sometimes when that happens, it happened to my Chaos Dwarf team the other day. AG3 Bull Centaur with block, just dead, reroll, dead. But,
it's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
It's the game.
It's frustrating, isn't it? It's frustrating. Oh God, I mean, who was the coach? Name and shame the coach.
That's why I was a bit. Do
you know who the coach was? Do you remember?
Who was it? I can't even remember, mate.
Yeah.
I can't even remember. I could probably look it up, but
Yeah, I mean, just having a look at.
It was just one of those games where my injury dice were just horrendous.
And that's something, like I said, I'm trying to learn to play Chaos Dwarfs, and like you, it's a bit of a worry because you only get 6 Longbeards. So if someone goes on a hot dice spree like they did against you, that's going to take a big chunk because that 6 is trying to build up and sort out. And
he knocked 380k off my team.
And they're not easy to level up, are they? That's the thing. Like, at least
they're not cheap either. That's the thing.
No, they're not.
I had like 280,000 just in players dead, and it's just like, well, that's that's going to take like half a season to replace.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the. I've got the chat on now. I'm just having a look through the chat. Obviously, Space Magic's rocking it. He said he lost 6 people. Obviously, he didn't lose enough.
You could do with you losing a few more.
Yeah. Big D Burrows.
It's just I'm not.
Of the Xbox controller.
I'm still going to try and rebuild the team because they've only had, I think, 2 or 3 losses. But
that's all right.
I'm not giving up on them just yet.
Well, that's it. I mean, too many people.
I think that was their 3rd loss, and they've got like 8 or 9 wins.
Too many people.
I decided this year.
Yeah, sorry, I just want to say, too many people are like restarting or quit on teams when they've lost 2-3 games. Now on the PS4, I've got 5 losses up with my Chaos team. 2 of them were blue screens, what really filthy. So that's the problem with the PS4. So I should have got 3. Yeah, I am not impressed. And it's always when you're winning. That's the thing. It's never when you get stuffed. If you got stuffed, you think, well, I was going to get beat anyway. So it's when you're like, oh yes, I'm going to get loads of XP, and then it goes on you. But the thing is,
I have a theory about this though. They're the ones you remember. They're the ones that you talk about on the forums.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the only time. I think we all like it's it's like we always say, you always remember when your opponent has really good luck, but
Oh, yes.
when you win, it's because of skill.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I won that
Absolutely.
game. It was all skill.
Yeah, too right. Absolutely.
Sometimes we have selective memory.
Yes, I certainly have selective memory, especially if I've had a bad day at the office. Like, try and forget it. And I mean, there's one time we was talking on the PS4 about the which races won the championship, and I was like, yeah, Undead have never won it, and someone said to me, he said, Benny, the Undead have won the championship. I said, no, they haven't. I remembered. And someone said, Benny, it was the team what knocked you out of the final, and I was like, shit, it was, wasn't it? So, because obviously I was going to put the final. My mind was like, no, we don't talk about that game. That game is completely gone, and I totally forgot about the game. And then obviously someone said, Benny, it was the Undead team where what beat you in the final. I was like, what? Oh yeah, we don't talk about that. Yeah, okay, I'll let you
that one.
That one, yes, that one. Damn that one. That bloody crowd. I'll never forgive the crowd. But yeah, you know what I mean. It's that sort of thing. And my philosophy is when I talk to other people is, look, if you lost a few, don't worry about it. Just keep going because the team needs to develop. Space Magic is just a different animal. He's on this run and that's it. But don't try and be him. Try and be yourself and just do as best you can. And if you still got a chance, just keep going. That's all you need to do. Too many people, especially on the PS4, just quit and then restart again. They'll have some like a 10-3-3 record. What's good?
We've talked about this on the Facebook groups a few times, and you always get that sort of mid-season dip.
Yeah.
Where people are like, I don't think I can qualify anymore. So a few people stop playing or change platforms or try restarting teams, as you said. Yeah. And you always get that sort of dip in games.
Yeah.
But then it picks up towards the end of the season when everyone's cherry picking through the list, going, oh, hang on, if I won 6 games with vampires, let's give that a go.
Yeah. Well, that's
swings and roundabouts, really.
The key is just to get into the playoffs. I mean, we've had it obviously. My Bretonian team, I think we played 5 games and got to the final with them. So I think I had 4 blood blitzers and that was it. And then we had, I think, Mercy Flush. He had an absolute battered Skaven team and they got to the semi-finals. It's just about getting a team in because when you're in, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And it's been proven on many times.
Anyone can win on the day.
So it's just that I think what it is a lot of us we either qualify with our favourite race or we don't qualify at all. And I say to people, look, it's great to qualify. I mean, I'd never played Bretonians. I think I played 5 games in about 2 years with Bretonians. Never played them, and I was messing about with them, and I was actually oblivious about the qualification. I always pick a couple of teams and just do daft stuff at the end of the season. And someone said, "Oh, Bernie, that was a shrewd move." I'm like, "What? Guys, you qualified with what?" No, Bretonians, don't be stupid. And I had. But the thing is, I'd never played them. I had so much fun. Because I was going into games, having a laugh, no pressure, because I was going to get beat. I beat the Calcium Castles Dark Elves, who was favourites to win it first round. I beat the Top Nurgle. I beat Sergle's an ex-champion. And we just had an amazing time. But the thing was, as good as that was, it was just fun. And then they got the Rocky story, and none of that would have happened if I was like, oh, I must play just this one race. So it's always good to try different races because it helps you, because you will know the strengths and weaknesses. So when you face that team, you'll think, all right, I remember. Player. Yeah, I remember why that was what I struggled with that team. So if I do this, it may make him struggle, and like I say, it makes you a better player.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, the more the story, a long way around.
I do it all the time.
If you lose a few, keep going.
Play lots of teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do it. I do it a lot, man. But there's only 1 or 2 teams that I really don't play very much. As I said, there's Wood Elves that I don't really get along with, and because I like playing quite high risk Blood Bowl, Dwarves and me just don't agree with each other.
Yeah.
They're just too slow. I can't play razzle dazzle football with Dwarves. It just doesn't work.
Yeah,
it's like trying to make a pig into a blooming tractor. Yeah, it's always going to fail.
The only team I've not really tried is Halflings. I don't know why. I just leave them for my
I love Halflings.
Everyone else seems to do.
Yeah.
The team I struggle to play is Chaos Dwarfs. That's the team I struggle to play, and that's why I'm playing them on the Xbox. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I quite like them. I have a couple of successful Chaos Dwarf teams in the leagues in Fabble, but my Coal team just got destroyed.
Everybody raves about Chaos Dwarfs. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people rave about Chaos Dwarfs, and I look at them like, it's funny because I can play Dwarfs really, really well, but then when I've got Chaos Dwarfs, I feel like, oh no, I'm way out my comfort zone. So it's like, but this is why you play them, isn't it? To find out what makes them tick and what can I exploit. And it's just the way it goes. And we'd like to say we'll have a look at a few more teams later on, and go on about it. But I am a big believer in, like, if there's teams
this team,
play them.
Yeah.
But go on, you were saying?
Even if you've got to play, I was just going to say, like, this is what, looking at this team, it's kind of made me think about how I build Chaos teams. Not that I don't play Chaos that often, to be honest, but I would have, my traditional build is always to go block, mighty blow. Just because then, you score. My thinking is you score more points quickly and get to your third level quicker. But you can't argue with what is it, like 35, 5-0 or something?
It's 35-0. But
35 and 0.
Yeah,
you can't argue with the man's result.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's it. I mean, it's a phenomenal record.
And also the frenzy wrestle beast, man. I'd really love to know what skill he's going to give him next.
Well, he's in chat, so Space, if you're still in chat, let us know what you're getting next. I think
if you're listening, I'd love to know what your thinking is. I think it might be tackle, or possibly strip ball, maybe, because he hasn't got a strip ball yet. I don't think. No.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
But he's probably going to surprise us and say, like, tentacles or something.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Tentacles is another good one. I personally think he's going to go with tackle on that. Tizzle Bizzle thinks maybe strip ball. That's another good one. Pass block, I don't think. I think it's too early for pass block.
Or rebol balon in Spanish.
Oh God, crikey.
Trivia for you.
Yeah, well,
I had to learn all the words for most of the common skills when I was playing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's it. A tackle, leap if doubles. Yeah, they say he's copying my roster. He's been on my YouTube channel with my leap
He's copying
skills.
My roster.
That's it. It's got nothing. He's copying me. That's it. I'm taking at least 1% credit for this.
His success is all down
record.
To you. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
I'm taking 1% royalties because
1%. Okay.
I'm taking that. That's now it makes sense why you've got this record. And there was me thinking it was all about him. Obviously not. But yeah, Leap's always good. I mean, the thing is, I tell people about Leap and they just look at me or they say, Benny, you've lost your rocket, but it's not. You've got horns.
No.
Blitz, leap in, strength 4.
All you got to do is watch someone who knows how to play. I was about to say Slan, but a Kislev team properly. An AG3 leap can be really, really annoying.
It is. I like Kislev. I really do, and I'm debating whether to buy that on the Xbox next season because there's so much fun, and every turn you can have a go at the ball. I mean, it's just a fun team.
Absolutely, every turn you can, you're in there potentially.
Absolutely.
It's just lots of dice.
Yeah,
lots and lots of dice.
It's a nightmare playing against them, though. I mean, because you can never be safe. That's why I like the strength 4. Agility 4 Case Warrior, because I'm like, hey, show hands and all that. Yeah, I'm just bossing it in the cage, and there's better chance.
Yeah, who was it? I can't remember who it was, but one of our like really good Chaos teams in Fable had a guy. He had an AG4 leaping Chaos Warrior, and it was just a nightmare.
That is awesome.
You'd just be standing there, and suddenly you just leap in next to you and just go off, and you're like, what the? Oh, crap.
Yeah, I mean,
you're standing in the middle of like a 6-man cage, and suddenly you get 2 dice blocked, and you're like, How the hell did that happen?
That's my ball, thank
Charlie,
you.
Actually, yeah, my ball, bang. What the?
Oh man, that's good stuff. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this team's extremely good. So anyway, let's get on to asking you a few questions then, because hey, I'm sure there's some people in the chat, believe it or not, who don't know much about you. So let's get on with it. So some nice easy questions.
Go for it.
Some easy questions for you. So what made you play Blood Bowl, and how long have you played it?
I've played Blood Bowl since I was about 14, 15, so that's like 22, 23 years.
Yep.
I loved American football, and we got into playing Necromunda and stuff through a friend's dad who used to be the distributor in WA.
Ooh.
So I've always been a big fan of fantasy, and you walk into his house and he just had like a bookshelf full of dragons and Blood Bowl teams and awesome. Warhammer armies and stuff, and you're just like, wow. Yeah. I want, and when you've just read The Hobbit for like the 4th time.
Oh yeah.
And you see this huge dragon on the shelf, and you're just like, I want one. I don't care how much it is. I don't care what it does. I just want one. So that's kind of how I got into playing Blood Bowl. But then, I moved over to England from Australia about 6.5, 7 years ago now.
Yeah.
And so I started playing online a lot more because I wanted to play with my mates back home.
Yeah.
That was kind of when I started, and then a couple of my friends introduced me to the Fabble League, and then through that I found out about the Champions League and things like that.
Crikey. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, you're obviously similar to me. I'm like 41, so you're around about my age. But I'm glad you're from Australia because I was thinking
I haven't quite made that hurdle yet.
You wait till you get there.
Too excited.
Oh, you wait till you get there. You'll be forgetting everything. But I mean, obviously, I'm glad you say you're from Australia because I thought you do sound Australian, but I thought it's probably I won't ask him because you'll probably end up telling him telling me you're Scottish or something instead. So.
No, I'm a weird one because I was born in England, but then we moved there when I was like really little, too little to remember.
Right.
So I've always been Australian, but I'm very conveniently English again now that I live here. Absolutely. For taxation and visa purposes. I'm quite happy to be English.
Absolutely.
Makes life a lot easier.
Oh, I love what rubbish. Nerves of Steel or Strong Amp. I don't think I said that. I think Space Magic is pulling a fast one there. But say I'm over 40, so my memory's crap. I could have said, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's it is a great game, and like I said, you're like me. I love American football, love it to bits. So that obviously helps, isn't it? It's like, you get to play American football and kill stuff. What's not to like with big massive orcs and stuff like that?
I get to play American football with like ogres and goblins, and I can lightning bolt people and. Absolutely. It'd basically take all the boring bits out of watching a live American football game because all the bits that would happen in the TV timeouts, there'd be people maiming each other and like some wizard like boiling over a cauldron in a corner trying to.
I mean that's it. That's it, isn't it? It's like, oh god, I mean that's so many adverts in bloody American football. It's just stupid. I guess I know why they do it, but I mean still, oh god. Right, is there anything you like or dislike about Blood Bowl? And is there anything you would change about the game?
I could do with winning a bit more. To be honest, are we talking about, I mean, if we're talking specifically about the Xbox,
no, just the game.
I really, really wish, I mean, Blood Bowl in general, I really, there's not really anything that, I like everyone, I get frustrated about bad dice, but you can't change that. Dice are just going to kill you some days. But in terms of the game, no, not really. In terms of the Xbox game, I'd love direct matchmaking. Mm-hmm. So we can just go, I want to play you, bang. I'd love not to have to wait 5 minutes to get a match.
Yeah, I mean, can you not do that on
that's the random time that's cyanide.
Can you do that like on Friendly though? If you just want one-off game, does it not just?
Oh yeah, if you just want to play a friendly, but I'm talking about like
a league game.
Because in Fabble, for example, you have to arrange your games. Like in league games, you can do it in like when you're having ongoing leagues and stuff. You just go boom, and you join the game straight away. But when you're, like we have the open league, and you've got to arrange your games, but you still have to spin. So once you've arranged your game with someone, it's like we'll play now, cool, and then you have to wait like 299 seconds or whatever the bloody number is for your game to start. And it just, if there's on a Saturday night when there's 5 or 6 people all waiting to play at the same time, everyone just gets muddled up and games get crossed up and you end up falling all over the top of each other.
It is annoying,
that's the only thing that really annoys me about it. Now, that would be a really nice feature. And also, actually, there is one more thing. I'd love to know why they've suddenly decided if I've got a higher TV and I spend petty cash, that means you get more petty cash.
It's basically, it was to stop people with a high TV being able to bank a wizard, especially in the playoffs. Because the way they're looking at it is that, hang on, you should already have the better team because, hey, you're the higher, you're the top dog. The problem is,
you could have 150 grand in the bank as well.
Yep.
You both have that opportunity to save that cash.
Yeah, the problem is when
it's not. It's one of the only things that's not the rules of Blood Bowl. Which I'm a traditionalist. They shouldn't mess with the rules, as far as I'm concerned.
I just think that was the reason why, so that if you're the high TV, you shouldn't be using inducements because you're already the better team. So people complain about that. But the problem is if you've got some like 14...
Yeah, but if you're playing goblins and you need the bribes or something, I mean, I understand the point. Like. It is what it is, and
the issue I've got though, Gary, is like when it's like your TV's 1480 and your opponent's is 1470. that's when it's a problem because if you spend 150 grand, he gets 150 grand. So it's like, but it's never gonna be
150 grand for nothing.
It's never gonna be, is it? That's the problem, unfortunately.
No, that's it.
So hey ho.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
But
fair point.
I still play every day, so it's not bothering me that much.
No, that's it. What's your favourite race and why?
My favourite race is probably Lizardmen.
Right, okay.
They're probably the race I have the most success with. I just find they're a really, really good combination of a really nasty front line and quite good ball handling players.
Yeah, I mean, people say to me, I mean, you play a lot more lizards than I do, but people say the higher the TV they go, the worse they are. Is that true, or is that just an old wives' tale?
I think they get to a point where, I think about between sort of 17 and 1800, that's kind of their peak. Right. And then once but it depends. Are we talking custom designed teams or naturally built teams?
Naturally built teams.
If you can custom design your team, then, naturally built teams, they do get to a point, I find it about, around just under the 2000 ceiling where a chaos team suddenly becomes much, much scarier.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like a chaos dwarf team or an orc team suddenly becomes so much more of a scary proposition.
I suppose it depends how you build them as well, isn't it? I mean, the thing is, I've always noticed that lizards struggle with anything what can leap into a cage, because obviously they're only strength 2. War dancers come in, thanks to the ball, Kislev as well, and that's the main thing what put me off. And then it's like, and then you run into Claw, strength 4 Chaos Warriors, and or Pesigos, or Beastmen with horns.
And that's when you start to run into that ceiling I was talking about. Yeah. When you get guys when you've got people with, strength 4 leaping war dancers with, and stupidity, and then, as you said, you've got like all the other hitty teams have either got Piling On and Mighty Blow all over the place, or they've got Mighty Blow and Claw. Yeah. And suddenly your Armor 9 Sauruses start to look like them and jam on the floor.
Yeah. And that's it, isn't it? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the thing with lizards is because with no skill to start off with, there's always that one extra skill you need, and it's like, where do you go? People. I know I've noticed on the PS4 a lot of people do not take guard, and I think you still need guard, but they're like, oh well, I'm strength 4.
I do. I absolutely take guard.
Yeah, you might be,
but I just do it. I generally do it as my second or third skill.
Oh yeah. You've got to get blocked
normally
first.
Third on a Saurus.
Yeah.
Block, Mighty Blow, guard normally rather than the other.
Yeah, you'd be amazed how many don't. I mean, one of the top lizard players on the PS4, he's got no guard, and I'm like, whoa, it's like Christmas, because it's like, you're strength 4, I'm sort of strength 4, but I've got guard to help me out, and it's and obviously if I've got claw,
it's one of those things. It's like it's kind of a rock paper scissors thing. It's like tackle. Tackle's fantastic until you play a team that has no dodge. Yeah. If you're strength 4 and I'm strength 4 and neither of us take guard, we're okay. If both of us take guard, we're okay. If one of us does and the other one doesn't, they get slaughtered.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not take that risk when I'm playing with them.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fair point.
As you said, if you run into 4 Black Orcs that have all got guard, or 4 Chaos Warriors that have all got guard.
Yeah.
Or God forbid 6 Saurus Warriors that have all got guard on another Lizardman team, you're just ruined.
Yeah.
It does give him a lot more Mighty Blows, I guess. So his player remove, and also ability to take tackle and things like that. So his player removal threat becomes a lot more dangerous, though. So I can kind of see where he's coming from. Yeah. I just don't do it that way.
Yeah. Tripperus, I'm not bashing the PS4. I'm just showing you some things. What basically, because obviously I play a lot on the PS4, so I know I can relate to what the coaches do on there. And I'm sure, Trippers, you agree with me. If you've got a TV value of about 1800 and you've got 6 swords with no guard on it, that is a problem. So I'm just telling you how it is.
I totally agree.
It's I have no loyalty to PS4 or to Xbox. I treat them both the same. So
shit. Hang on a second.
Yep,
my TV's just decided it wants to turn itself off.
Oh yes, they're always fun. I have that where I'm playing a game, I'll be down and all of a sudden it'll come up. You got 60 seconds before and then you're like, where's the controller? Where's the controller?
And it's always when you're
the controller?
2.5. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm like,
it's always when you're 2.5 minutes into the most important turn of the whole game as well.
And I'm like, but then the thing is though, cause I can't find my controller. So it was like, oh my god, 30 seconds, 29. Like, shit, man, I'm gonna lose the game because I can't find the freaking bloody controller. And I'm like, I'm looking under the couch and stuff like that. And obviously, I'm supposed to be doing my turn as well, but it's like, must find this controller. So, yes, I always do that once every week at least. So, yes, that's always added more stress to it. I'm sure other people have done it. But it's absolutely nightmare when that happens. But it's alright when it's on a show like this, no problemo there. But Is there any team that you struggle playing, or you just can't for the life of you, play them?
What else?
Yeah.
What else? I just I understand the logic, I understand the theory, I understand the tactics. I just can't roll the dice.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. Like the amount of times I have gone, oh look, I'm going to make a go for it. 1 reroll or a dodge or something, and gone 1 reroll 1. Oh look, dead. Reroll dead.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes my 50, 60 SPP war dancer.
Yep.
And they just, I've tried so many times to start a Wood Elf team, and I get maybe at most 7 or 8 games in, and then I'll have 4 players die in a game. It's just one of those teams Nuffle does not want me to play.
Yeah. I mean, they are.
I can play Dark Elves fine. I can play High Elves fine.
But just not Wood.
Not Wood Elves.
Yeah, it's a bit scary. You've got to basically have that tough mentality with the armor 7 on your best pieces. It's like the same skin, but skin with the quite cheap players out there, so it's not so bad. But with Wood Elves, they are.
And you've got to have such good apothecary discipline.
Oh yes,
Lee Illing's the best at that. I remember
tell you what,
I was playing against his Wood Elf team.
Yeah. Go on. You do yours.
I was just saying I was playing against Lee's Wood Elf team, and I killed a catcher that had 70, 80 SPP, and he waved it. Didn't even blink at it, just insta-waved it. And I was just like, what the hell? And then I killed his 190 SPP war dancer 3 turns later. And he went, dunk. That's why.
That's why.
I just don't have that level of discipline when it comes to apothecaries.
Yeah, I can have that discipline. It happened to me on one game, and it killed a guard piece. Nope, I'm not saving that. Killed another guard piece. Nope. And then something happens. Oh yeah, I'm saving that guy. And then your apothecary goes, nah, you know what? Nah, I'm not even bothered. And then eventually, this apothecary you've left. He says, you know what? I wasn't going to save him anyway. The joke's on you, sort of thing. Like, fuck's sake, man. I've just seen 2 of my guys die, so you can actually save the guy I want you to save. And then he's got a maximum movement, and you say, you know what? I think it's better off we kill him. Oh yeah, thanks, apothecary. What do I pay you for? So yeah, but it is, yeah. I mean, you sometimes
apparently you employed a plague surgeon by accident.
Yes. Sometimes you've got to let good players go. It's as simple as that, and that's why I see a lot of the times is I see people apothecary, and I've done it as well. Apothecary badly hurt piece, and a lot of times that comes back to bite you in the backside because then a decent piece.
Oh yeah.
I get where people say but if
apothecary a KO and you're like, what?
You see that a lot in playoff knockout football. You see that a lot in when it's like, you know what, it's not about the players anymore. It's about getting through to the next round, isn't it? But the thing is, I mean, the philosophy of the badly hurt is well, if I apothecary badly hurt, I know it works because I'm going to get the play back. So I can get that, but I've always found out usually when I do that, it bites me in the backside because later on something's going to happen with the players, and it's going to be a lot worse than a badly hurt, and then my progression for the rest of the tournament is going to be hampered. So I sort of get that both ways, but yeah, you've got to, some people.
It's very different in resurrection leagues as well, resurrection knockouts and stuff traditional tabletop tournaments.
I tell you.
Then it's a whole different story.
Yeah, I tell you what. There's not much stuff what get my back up. A resurrection. I'm fed up of hearing about resurrection. It's freaking Bloodbowl. They die. That's what it's all about. Oh look, I'm gonna play a game of Bloodbowl, but guess what? I ain't really that bothered because guess what? They all come back alive after that game. I just think it's filthy. I think it's like playing with stabilizers bloody on. I know it's popular.
It's.
I get it,
in tabletop, it's if it makes tournaments so much more random if you don't play resurrection, because it's if I'm playing elves and I play a chaos team first up, then for my second game I'm going to be ruined and I'm going to have no chance. Right. So it just allows more fair games that are judged by skill rather than did you have a good game the previous round.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I've seen people say, "Oh yeah, well if this was a resurrection tournament, I would have been a champion by now." It's like, well, no, you really can't say that, mate. You really can't say.
It's not, and you're not. So whatever.
It's like until you've got that badge, you can talk all you like. You've got to deliver, sort of thing. But I've never liked any. I mean, I get why people do it, and I'm sure if I played in a tournament like you said, I can see the merits of it. I just can't get my head round it's Blood Bowl. There's blood in the reason. People are supposed to die. And I think I'd play the game completely different. I'd probably be more reckless because I'd be like, hey, man, you're not going to do if you die, you're back. And then obviously, like say, apothecaries will be used more on knockouts and stuff like that because you know that it doesn't matter what happens because next game they're going to come back.
You use apothecaries to keep players in the game rather than keep players alive.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I can see for a lot of new players where Resurrection as well be positive because, like, they get to, even though they could, like, especially against Chaos, it makes it more fun against Chaos because, you know, like, if you've got 4 players killed, you'd be like, oh, well, at least I get them back next game. So I can see the positives. I'm just probably the old school where I'm like, you know what? We're supposed to, like, lose players, and that's just the way it is. And Blood Bowl, to me, has always been a random factor. Anything what stops the randomness sort of takes away from the game.
Yep.
But that's just my
absolutely
honest. That's just my opinion. But I know a lot of people love the Resurrection.
Oh, well, yeah, we were discussing this before we went live, you know, and I totally agree. I love the randomness of Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, it's the thing that makes it great. It's the thing that makes it so frustrating sometimes, but it can. You know, it's the thing that means that on any given day, any coach can win. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like I get it because, like I said, like what happened to your Chaos Dwarf team and it's happened to us before. It's like it does hurt, and just like, oh, for God's sake, I work. Oh, it doesn't mean it's not frustrating as hell.
No, that's what I say. You played, say, 20 odd games, you've got your team where it is, and then some halflings roll hot dice or something, and then you've lost 3 players. Yeah. But that's the risk of it. I mean, that's the same with Space Magic, where last season he did not have to keep playing his woofers. But he did, and he ended up costing him a wolf. Yeah, but that is the risk you take.
Well, it's like this team. He was if I remember rightly, that he has lost. You know, he's had a few players killed
six
from this team. It's not like he's
no.
Yeah, there you go. So it's not like he's not had to replace players and rebuild his line, and you know.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, you've got to have some sort of risk.
It's just amazing that he hasn't. You know, but even still, out of that many games, not even to have that one game where you just get diced off the pitch, you know, out of 35 games, like that takes real skill.
But the thing is, it's like
I'm sure he's had those games where his dice have been hideous.
Yeah, he's just a fantastic player.
I'm not going to sit here and go through all his dice logs, but
it's as simple as that. He's a fantastic player, and you know, I mean, you don't want to play players like him all the time, but I always look at the positive when you're playing someone like him. It can only improve your game because then you're playing him and you're like, why are you so good? It's not luck. There's obviously something what you do or the way you build your team what gets you where you are. And you know, it's positioning and the way he reacts to things is top class, and that's why he wins as many as he does, because he's just that good. But you know, instead of people getting frustrated, I mean, I was getting frustrated playing every freaking game, but you sort of learn how he plays, and you just take little bits what can improve you, and that's why you'll say to people, yes, it's frustrating, but go back, watch the game. What does he do? Or just watch his games. Watch what he does, because it's not rocket science. He'll be doing something, and you would think, oh, well, actually, I don't do that. And then you try it, and then, you know, it's all about learning, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
But, you know.
But I think one of the most telling stats when you look at his team, he scored 61 touchdowns with a Chaos team in 35 games. Oh. He scored 50 casualties.
Wow.
So... How many, the number of touchdowns isn't particularly remarkable, but the fact that he's scored more than he's injured with a Chaos team, you know, that shows that the way he's built the team really works.
Does it say how many touchdowns he's letting? How many touchdowns? I'm interested to see how many he's letting.
How many he's let in?
His defense is usually pretty solid.
Sustained 9. So he's got a positive 52 goal difference.
So in 35 games, he's like 9 touchdowns in. Yeah. I noticed when I started playing him that his defense is
one
solid.
every 4 games.
Yeah, basically. So yeah.
Oh no, there you go. He sustained 4 deaths.
Well, there you go. That's not too bad for him. But yeah, so 9 TDs. There you go. Defense win matches. But then again, this is it. You see, he was very good with his necro and all that. And like I say, instead of people, I'm not saying people hating or anything like that, but people like this. That's a great thing about being online consoles and that. Look at the history, watch the games. If you want to improve, the best way to do it is watch people like this play. I cannot. I mean, I do it now. I mean, people always use tech to make me on PS4 going, bloody hell, Ben, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, what are you doing? Oh, I'm watching someone play. Why? Oh, because they play Wood Elves really well, and I want to know what makes them better than everybody else.
My missus thinks I'm crazy that I sit here and watch people play computer games.
Yeah. I would.
but I do. Yeah, I do. You know, like I've watched a couple of Magic's games this season, and you know, but that's why we run things like the coaching league and stuff in Fabulon. I know Steve Humphrey runs his League of the Noobs. Yeah. For the newer players.
But it's good, isn't it?
You know, try and help them out and get because nothing beats actually talking through a game with someone.
And that's it. I mean, we all started the same as new player. You know, we was all new player once. Even God forbid, Space Magic W was a new player. You know, we all start at the bottom and work our way up. And I always think if there's people there to help them, then it's a lot better because they'll enjoy it more. You'll enjoy it because you're helping people.
It just,
you know, so it's I don't know. I think it's that community thing again, isn't it? It's and Trip was just saying Sage is great at that apparently. So. You know, I think it all goes down to community.
Yeah, but you know, if you keep people, if you help people get better at the game, they keep playing, which means the community grows, which means Cyanide keep putting money into the community because the community keeps putting money into Cyanide.
Yeah,
you know, at the end of the day, it's a business. If you know, if they see the return in it, they'll keep doing it, and that's what we want. That's what we all want, whether you play on PS, PC, or Xbox. We all want the game to keep getting supported.
Yeah. I mean that's it. I agree with you. I mean it's like Trippers is saying in chat that he's saying that announced games are good as well because obviously people analyze the game as the game's going on live. So yeah, I can understand that way of thinking as well. So I just think on the consoles, community is key more than anything because obviously we're not as big as the PCs, but obviously if you've got a good community, like you said, with Fable and all that sort of stuff, that will keep players there. You can play together and have fun, and that's what it's all about. A lot of people forget.
But even
fun
outside of Fable, like you talk to people in the Champions League forums on Xbox and stuff, and you know, there's never any, you know, I won't say never, but there's very rarely any niggle or you know, any serious, you know, people having a go at each other or anything. You know, we all love to have a bit of banter and have a bit of a dig at each other. I mean, you know, I'm Australian; it's our national sport. Yeah. Alongside swearing. But yeah, you know, it's all in good fun at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Fashband.
Except maybe for the cup final for the 950 euros, that might get a bit more serious.
Yeah, Space Magic said Fashband there commenting on the Champs playoff taught me loads. So there you go. Even probably the best player on the Xbox is saying, look, even here, that's how you learn, and that's how you do it. That's how you learn. Do not be arrogant if you get to a certain point and think, you know what, I don't need to learn anything else because I'm that good. No. You can't. You can always learn something, and you always learn more from defeat.
No one ever plays a perfect game.
No.
You know, no one does. I've never played a game in my life where I've gone through the whole game and not thought I cocked that up at least once. You know, and I don't think anyone, you know, even Magic, you know, we all sit here and go, he never makes mistakes, but he you know, you see it sometimes, but he just makes a lot less than everyone else. Yeah, and he's just consistent. That's the thing. A lot of the top players are consistent. Yeah, exactly. And that's it. Where some you look at, you know. You look at people like him, people like Lee Ealing, people like you know, Tom Hamilton, people, you know, that they're not constantly at the top of the leagues by accident. Yeah, and that's it. That's you look why at all the people in the top half a dozen, they're there. You know, they're there every year or every season. Yeah. I mean, Trip saying on chat that I think it's Fashband. We said he watched the PS4 final in his stream and you could clearly tell he enjoyed it, but he had to entertain the PC supremacists. Yeah, there is that sort of thing, Trip, where obviously it's not cool to like the console ones, but, you know, I think we get... I mean, I can't speak as much on the Xbox, because obviously I'm quite new to the Xbox, but on the PS4, the playoffs, we've had some amazing games. I am almost certain have been more exciting and fun than the PC one. Yeah, they've got some ultra brilliant players. I'm not saying that. But, you know, the console players can play as well. And people like Space Magic, he could go onto the PC and rock it on there, no problem. You know, so it's like... I reckon, you know, I reckon you could transplant... This is the thing, though. Like, I don't see the point in, you know, this... We're better than you. Like, we're all playing Bloodbowl. Who cares? Yeah. You know, maybe it would be nice to have the three, you know, to have, like, you know, at some point, you know, a cross-platform championship. Once we've had 4 seasons and we've got or 5 seasons or whatever, and we've got whatever works out to be mathematically the right number of players for a knockout. Do like all the champions get invited to a knockout tournament or something? You know, that would be a cool idea. But at the end of the day, even that, you know, it's just bragging rights. Who cares?
I still would.
I just want to I don't care whether I'm using a mouse or a controller. I just want to play some Blood Bowl or some miniatures for that matter.
Yeah. I'd still fancy the console players to do extremely well against the PC gamers. I really do. I think they'd be surprised.
Yes. Absolutely.
Our top elite is just as good as their top elite, but hey, we playing console, so we can't be that good.
Absolutely.
But, it's just the way. It's like I said, the big winner is everyone playing Blood Bowl, and that's what we're striving for. Because regardless of the PC or the consoles, if people keep buying the game, buying downloads and all that stuff, then obviously the game's going to be supported. So that's what we should be looking at. But some people just love to drag people down, but hey ho. Now then, in the Twitch channel, because we've got 13 people, now here is your task. I want you to tell us what teams to have a look at, because we're going to look at least 5 teams now. But if you guys want to see a particular team, what isn't bloody Chaotic Purpose, because we've already looked at them. If there's any other teams on the top page here you want to have a look at, tell us in the chat and we will have a look. But the first team we will let our guest, Gary, you pick the first team to have a look at on the first page or the second page?
On the Champions ladder. Oh,
no pressure.
I'd really like to have a look at Gnome Slayer's Orc team, the Violent Pounders.
Yep, let's go and have a look at them. Violent.
I like this team.
I've not seen him yet, but I know he's a good player.
I think they're 3rd.
Yep. Very good team. I wonder if Space Magic's played these bad boys. Gnome Slayer.
I'm
nice
not
high
sure.
TV.
I haven't been through the history.
Spank your monkey. Well, I ain't heard that saying for a long time. That's their motto. Oh God, hey up. Dear me. Right, do you want to tell us what you like about them while I just have a look see if Space has played this guy? Don't think.
I just think they're a really solid Orc team, and he hasn't, when you look at his team, he hasn't had, like, you see some of the teams, and I'm like, and I'm not saying Magic's team has or anyone in particular's team has, but he's only had 1 stat increase across his whole team, so he's not really had luck with his level ups and things like that. It's just a really solid, really nice Orc team. I like Orcs; they're good fun.
Yeah,
and he's got his obligatory goblin to throw down the pitch, of course. Well, I think he's killed a couple by the look of it, because that one's got no star player points.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I say, he's got again another top player going for guard. I mean, there's 7 guard pieces in there. He's got a frenzy piling on killer. One needs a punch to the balls or a kick to the balls. Strength for lineman. So it's a solid team at 1850. 3 rerolls. That's the sort of amount of rerolls I always like to have. Got his apothecary. And he's got the throw of the rock.
There's nothing revolutionary about it, but it's just done very well.
Yeah, the throw of the rock and get the ref kick-off events is what he's decided to stop.
With his enhancements. I didn't think about that.
And obviously, like I say, he hadn't really got any doubles, but his troll has got himself a nice ball.
And he's got his dwarf cheerleaders.
Dwarf cheerleaders.
Just for a laugh.
That's disgraceful. He should be sacked for that. That is unbelievable. But
why not, mate? It's the ultimate insult. It's the ultimate insult to the dwarves.
I don't know. Obviously the dwarf cheerleaders quite like doing it by the sound of it. But to the orcs, I don't know. There's a bit more brawling going on there. Tizzle Bizzle saying Gnome Slayer's a good coach. Yeah. I think he has qualified every Champs Cup as well. So there you go. He's got pedigree, this lad.
Yes.
He hasn't played Space this season though, so that's a shame. No. So maybe he might be the guy who can take down their Space's undefeated record. Who knows? But grudge match. Yeah, let's make it happen. But yeah, it's a good team. It's got a nice.
They're about the same TV as well, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, a nice.
Yeah, he's got a couple of blodging blitzers, which is good.
Would you if you was playing either Orcs or Case, which team would you pick? Would you go with the Orcs or would you go with Space's Chaos?
I'd probably go with if I as in I have to play against them.
If you were to take control of one of them 2 teams, if you get other
I'll take
coaches,
control of one of them.
Yep. Which one would you pick?
Well, it'd be nice to be in first place. Yeah, I'd probably go the Chaos team.
Would you?
So I do love the Orcs because you can just you've always got that 1-turn bomb.
Oh yes, yeah, with a good old goblin. It's fantastic. But yeah, I like this team. I like this team a lot, and I hope I don't have to play against it.
Yeah, 19-4-3 is a pretty damn good. Well, in any other season would be one of the best records in the league. Well, it is one of
but
it's in the top.
one,
It's obviously in the top 3, but yeah, it is. But
there's definitely nothing wrong with the record. 19 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses. That is an extremely good record. Really is a good record. Now then, in the chat, someone has said about another team. Warpstone Creepers, apparently. Are they there? Where are they?
Warpstone Creepers. All right, I'll go and have a look.
Oh, is someone just winding us up? Because I can't see them.
I can't see them, but we'll search for the Warpstone. It's probably someone's big upping their own team.
It's probably come from Trips. It's probably. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's from Trips. It's probably not even on here.
Warpstone. Yeah, they're only 10. They're only 10-40. They've got 1 win and 3 losses.
I beat them. So yes, they're yes. I was yes. Let's. I was like, I'm sure I've heard that name before. But yes, Okay, look, all you lot in chat, and none of you dare bloody type and tell us what teams you want to have a look at. Dear me.
Yeah.
Disgraceful. Let's have a look. What can we have a look at? Let's have a look at Blade's team, the team I want to see play Chaotic Purpose for the next 10 games running. Very scary team, if I remember correctly, this Ground Zero. So let's have a look at this. They're number 2 in the league. And if I remember, this has got a lot
That's Blade, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's a bit of a scary team. Could be wrong.
Ground Zero.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Oh, God. This is more of a. It's not too bad actually. I think it must be Rambo's team. I'm getting confused with because his team was just piling on Claw, Mighty Blow the lot. Let's have a look. They faced the hardest opposition in
Ground Zero.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. He's got 3 guard pieces, 2 stand firm, 2 Mighty Blow Claw pieces, 1 with piling on. His blocks on his Beast and Eagle. Oh my word, this team's a nightmare.
Yeah, that's quite scary.
Space, you've got to take this team out.
In a hurry.
Oh God,
I'd like to see that game because hopefully they'll take each other out.
I'm trying to take your advice. Is he on about my advice?
Though.
Have I shot myself in my foot there by telling him to take guard? Yeah, guard is key. Guard is key. Space, I'll agree with that. We'll have a look at Eldar Caveman in a minute. Space. But what
he's gone guard. Generally, he's got a couple. Yeah. He sort of went half guard, half Mighty Blow for his second skill.
Yeah,
which is the way I kind of normally split it.
Yeah, Space said it last show. See, no one takes notice of me. When I say it, it's mad, but when Space says it, everybody listens. That's about right. Don't blame him either, to be fair. I think I was the same as Blade going, yeah, Space has got a point here. Quick, get some more guards. But yeah, I mean, guard wins matches. Simple as that. And yeah, this team looks solid.
Yeah. And he's got the obligatory AG4 Pestigore with blowing all the ball skills.
Everybody likes the AG4
2 heads, sure hands, dodge. He's rolled some really good upgrades, that kid. Wow.
Yeah, he's got some good wins. He beat Eldar Caveman latest, 1-0. That's a good one. He's got some good games in there. Has he ever played Space though? This is the thing. Space, have you ever played this guy? Because I can't see him actually have ever played him. I tell you what, Space. There's a pattern running here that you seem to dodge all the best players. You'll have to play it. You'll have to play him. You have to play these top teams to prove to us that you're the real deal. No, I don't think he has. But that'd be a good game to watch when it's Space versus Blade. That would be immense. I'm sure now the play would want to play each other, but yeah, that is pretty cool. That is it. Movement 4 makes crappy killer. Or what do you trip having his say on that? But yeah, I like this team. I wouldn't like to play against it. I have seen worse at this stage. But yeah, if he's Mighty Blow Claw pieces that have a going day, you're in a world of pain. And then Beast of Nagels are always a pain in the backside. And it's not far off getting another level as well.
Block.
Yeah, block's horrendous. Because you don't mind doing a red dial block against him if they haven't got block. But as soon as they got block, it's like, not really. But yeah.
No, I don't want to go uphill at that bloke. That's for sure.
Not really. So that's not a bad team. Let's have a look at Space Magic.
What else do we want to look at?
He wants to look at Eldar Caven's team, his best mate there. What's
the name?
Matter. White Lives Matter.
White Lives Matter.
Yeah. So let's have a look at that one.
Oh no, what? I've only got the White Russians. What?
Spelt like the white on the positional, not the colour.
Ah, yes, of course. Of course.
Let's have a look then. This is Space Magic's Padawan. His apprentice. God, I remember back in the day when Space Magic was my Padawan. Oh, how things change.
Now I am the master.
Yes. You may beat me down 4 times, but I will get that win and kill your wolf. But I'll claw to anything I can. It doesn't matter about the other 4 losses. This is an interesting team because Eldar Caveman's another guy who plays very, very well. He's very solid.
Yes, I've played him. Not this team, I don't think, but one of his other teams.
Yeah, he does like playing.
Played him a few times.
He does like playing Undead. I think Space is appalled that he likes playing Undead because I think Space thinks he could do so much better with other teams. But hey, he likes Undead, and and it's good for him that he does.
If that's what floats your boat.
Absolutely. And he's got a nice bludge strength 4 ghoul already. He's got a few nice pieces there.
He's quite tasty.
Yeah.
Glad the cold-hearted. He's off to a good start.
Yeah, he's going after the gut runners and that anyway. His mighty blow and his tackle, and and he's got a block on a mummy there. That's very nice. Khufu the Tyrant block on his first skill. That is beautiful. So that's always good. So it's a solid team. I'm sure he'll have a good record as well. He always does as Caveman. 15 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses. So again, another good one. He unfortunately got beat. He's on a bit of a losing streak of 2. Woohoo! Ground 0 /
Oh, he's lost his last 2, has he?
Oh yeah, that's it. Super Nashwan. Who's that? Is that Little Yoshi's team off the top of my head? Super Nashwan. Anyone know in chat? But yeah, he's lost his last 2. Possibly. I tell you what, I think that was the one. I think that was the game where his missus went to use the hairdryer and turned off the Xbox.
Yes, I remember reading about that. Poor kid.
That was funny to watch. I mean, you can just imagine him playing this game. He's got a chance, and then it goes off, and he's like, "Why? Oh well, I'll just dry my hair."
Yes, Super Nashwan is little Yoshi.
Yeah, so that's a quality way of losing. Respect there. But I tell you what, though, Super Nashwan early doors beat him 2-0 as well. So maybe little Yoshi's got his number.
Yeah,
that might be it. Some coaches do better against others. So maybe that's what it is. You never know. But yeah, I mean, like I say, it's very good. It's a very good record. I think him and Space have got this agreement that they don't play each other because Eldar Caveman fears for his life when he plays Space. So he has that advantage of not playing the top team. The rest of us will man it up though. We'll man it up and play him if we need to. But I mean, he's beat some good teams. Efficiency, the Skaven team, top Skaven team. He beat them twice. So he's a good. He's a very good coach, very solid coach, and I can see why. I see a lot of Space in him because freaking Space obviously mentors him. So yeah, it's a good team, and again, I would expect him to get to the playoffs. I really do. So
yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look. Where's the next undead team? You got to go a fair way down the list to find another one.
And then there's the wildcard spot as well.
Onto the 4th page.
So it's not.
I can't see him not qualifying with that record.
Yeah. Right. Let's see. Right. Let's while I'm still up there, let's have a look at the Little Black Ninjas, so people can tell me what to do with this team. Now, this team, the Little Black Ninjas.
Well, you're doing all right. It's 7-0.
Yeah, I'm still not happy with them though. But this has got names of the Xbox crew, some of them. Let's have a look. I might even find it with that, hopefully. There we go. So TV 1430. Not as great as some teams, obviously, but statistics there. Played 7-1-7, lost none, draw none, so I'll hold that for at least another 10 minutes. But We'll go with you first. We'll go with you first. What do you think of the team? Where can it be improved? How do I get to a 30 wins and 5 draw record, please? Tell me how.
Years of practice. See, where I'll be looking at next is where are you going with your bull centaurs? I traditionally make one of my bull centaurs like block, tackle, mighty blow, or something like that, and then maybe strip ball. If they survive that long.
Right.
And then make the other one into some kind of, into the ball carrier with break tackle, sure hands.
Right, yeah. I mean, one of them will go break tackle.
If you're lucky. I always seem to get a plus agility bull centaur in my team, which is incredibly useful.
Yeah,
but
very. Yeah.
Until they die, of course.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do with Chaos Dwarfs. I really don't have a clue. I'm just fed up of playing against them.
He's doing all right.
You know,
Doing
I've
all right.
got,
I mean,
I've
like
gone with the
with your Chaos Dwarf blockers.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Space Magic. He's a clever little fucker. I second level up. I'm going right. Space Magic. If you get a double, we're going Claw. If you don't get a double, we're going Mighty Blow. So
Absolutely.
I'd set that up, and that's what we're going to do. And what does he go and do? He rolls a bloody double six. So it's like, well, you know, you can't turn him around strength, can you?
Oh, my heart bleeds for you.
I know,
Ben.
that's what I thought.
My
I thought,
bleeds.
you know what? I was ready to take one or the other, and then you just insult me by rolling double six, so now I can't take Claw. Even my first Claw piece, everyone tells me how great Claw is, and I can't bloody roll a double, and then I do. But it's strength. You can't turn strength down, can you? You got to take strength. So obviously, Space Magic.
I think if you take strength, you're going to lose your next 3 or 4 games just due to Nuffle going. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
You
So I had to take it.
ungrateful sod.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
Absolutely.
I know Space Magic. He said to me he wasn't happy that he wasn't a Bull Centaur. He was pretty poor that he was a lowly case dwarf. But I had a good feeling that Space Magic I wanted him in the middle of the scrapping. I didn't want him prancing about with these bloody Bull Centaurs. I wanted him in the middle, holding my line together and making sure I don't lose any games. And you know, he's got his guard, he's got his strength up already. He's going to be a monster if he lives. So you know, if people can not kill that person, that'd be great.
Another one I quite like for Chaos Dwarves is Dauntless.
Yeah, that is a sneaky.
If you've got an all guard front line, a couple of Chaos Dwarves with blockers with Dauntless is insanely useful because then you can one dice strength 5 players, providing your opponent doesn't have very much guard, or you can 2, 3. You know, you can 2 dice them in a lot of situations, and it just negates the strength 3. Because that's the one time you do suffer in this team is when you run into like a Lizard Man team with 6 strength 4 Saurus Warriors or something.
Yeah, I remember
especially if they've got some guard.
I played someone in a private league on the PS4, and I had my Playground and Cowboys, what was basically an Nagel team, and then I played this Dwarf team. I thought, this is going to be awesome. And then I'd realised he had about 4 Dauntless pieces. Like, oh my god, he's got guard, he's got Dauntless. It was just a pain in the backside because then I'd lost my strength advantage on a 2+. So, you know, although I had guard as well, obviously Dwarfs had tons of guard. So I agree with what you're saying, and it's just a normal role as well. I would think Dauntless would be something I'd look at. That and Stand Firm are 2 things I'm looking at. Obviously, I want Mighty Blow next if I don't roll a double. I've been told if I roll a double, you've got to take Claw. It doesn't matter when you get it. You've got to get Claw on any your 6 Dwarf because obviously that makes him a lot more scarier.
As much as you can.
So, you know, I mean, it's interesting that, and someone else, when I've been asking for help, Trips in the chat saying, get a Minotaur. I don't like Minotaurs on Chaos teams, and Minotaurs...
The Miner's controversial, sorry.
Is it?
I sort of, like, before my Chaos Dwarf team got destroyed the other day, my plan was I was going to use him to basically, you know, like I was going to build up my team and then use him to jump them from that sort of 16 to 1800 gap,
right?
And just buy the Minotaur, but that all kind of fell apart when half my team died.
Right. I just don't like the thing of having a double for mutation. I just don't like that because on the Chaos one you don't. So if I roll a double, I've got to choose between Claw or block. And the other thing I like is Tentacles on a Minotaur as well. But I now need a double for that, and it's like I'm paying the same price and everything. And...
I mean, he's still a good, he's still a good player, but I find they're less useful than the Chaos ones. And you don't, because you've got such a good, potentially really nasty front line, you don't really need one as much with Chaos Dwarves. I was playing without one.
Yeah.
And lots of people sort of agree. Like, it is an opinion splitting one. It's a Marmite decision,
Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, like I said, I've seen a lot of Chaos teams because after one skill they've got Claw, Mighty Blow, so they love it. So and they can cause carnage against high armor teams. So I get that, but for Chaos Dwarfs, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Wild Animal in the best of times, and I just think, it just jumps your TV up so much for, in my opinion, so little. And I've got 2 Bull Centaurs as well. They're strength 4. They're reliable enough. I can get them built sort of hopefully how I want them. Like I said, if you get guard and everything, it's his Space saying the same. Wild Animal AV8 liability. Yeah, I'm glad Space agrees with me that they're not very good. But like I said, this team's doing all right. It's played 7, won 7, so you can't grumble there. The problem is, it depends who I run into. If I run into Space Magic's team, I'm in a whole world of pain. But
yeah, or
Blade. It is what it is. But I will be going for that claw piece. That claw piece. Anyone with claw piece does. Simple as that. That's what that's because that's the problem. That's the thing. That's the thing I'm guessing with Case Dwarfs is if there's a claw piece on the pitch, if he gets within punching and stamping range, get it. That's what it did against.
Yeah. Any claw piece that goes down in front of you is an instant target, as far as I'm concerned. They deserve what they get.
Yeah, that's why little Yoshi, he leveled up last game, so he's got data play now. So he is going to be lurking about there, going, "You come near us, and you better get away, because if you don't, I'm stamping. I don't care if I've only got three assists or something. Anything with claw, does or try and kill it anyway. I think that's the best way of doing it. I think. But
I generally build like a ball handling hobgoblin like you've built there with like sure hands and then the other ones I just use as expendable boot kickers basically.
Yeah, and it keeps them alive.
I generally find they don't last more than 2 or 3 levels.
Yeah, because like I said, they're getting sent off all the time. That's keeping them alive, isn't it? So there's it's always good. But
I suppose there's that.
But yeah, there you go. So that's my team anyway. So we'll have a look at one more and we'll call them there. Any other particular team you're interested in, Gary? Or
I haven't really had a look at them yet, but I'd like to possibly have a look at that Skaven team, Vermin Efficiency from Tom.
Yeah, let's have a look. Vermin Efficiency.
They sound kind of interesting. It'll be interesting to see how he's built them.
Yeah, Skaven are always an interesting.
He's doing very well with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find I don't know. I find lots of people seem to just end up with like movement 10 gutter runners and stuff. Way more often than it should happen.
Yeah.
Do you ever notice that like certain players seem to get certain skill ups?
Yep.
Way more, like Lee with his AG6 War Dancers, and there you go. There's a movement 10 gutter runner with sprint and sure feet.
Yep. I'm not a big fan of 110ers. I really hate 110ers. Anything where you basically point and click with no skill involved, I hate. And I really do target them, more than I really should do. Really.
Oh God, yes. You would be an absolute idiot. I mean, and it looks like he's only got 3 gutter runners. Oh no, there's another one down the bottom there. I was going to say it looks like someone's been killing a few of his players.
Yeah.
He's got an AV6 thrower. That guy's not long for this world.
The thing is, though, if he's a thrower, he's not supposed to get hit, so you never know. He may.
Yeah, he's not supposed to, but sometimes you leave him hanging.
And then he gets slapped.
Yeah, this team looks like it's taken a bit of a battering, so he's doing very well to maintain such a good record with them.
Yeah, so 21 wins, 2 draws, 6 losses. That's pretty good. So, he's doing all right. And again, he's top Skaven. Skaven, you've always got a chance with Skaven. They're so quick. Ball goes on the floor. Quickly pick it up.
Yeah, he beat Propensity for Violence, or they lost to Galacos.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with Skaven, you can beat anyone and you can lose to anyone. That's the thing with the with Skaven. They're very hit and miss. When things are going through.
Although he's beaten. Yeah, he's got about a 50-50 record with the top teams. He lost to White Lives Matter, but he beat Violent Pounders of Puds, the Orc team we were looking at before.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some good teams there. Definitely. So let's just say a lot of the times it's like who you end up playing, isn't it? I mean, if you're playing some of the lesser coaches, you can soon build up a good record. But I always take more credit.
Sooner or later, you're going to run into one of the big lads.
Yeah.
I
always have a look at
or one of the
I always take coaches more serious if they've if I've not known them. If I say, oh God, look, he's played all the top coaches and he's got like a 10-2 record, and then there's someone who's got a 10-0 record, but he's not played anybody. I'll always think, oh well, the 10-2 record's better because he's had to be decent to beat them coaches. So I'm always a big believer in the looking at the history of the teams have played. But yeah, so there we go. That's that done. What I quickly want to ask you, obviously what happened this weekend was obviously the Xbox and the PS4 went down, and one thing what we got a lot of flack for as admins is the amount of people was appalled when we said, well, Cyanide don't usually work the weekends, and we got a lot of hate for that. People said, what do you mean what do you mean they don't work the weekend?
Well, I don't know why you guys got hate for it, but
at
the end of the day,
we just tell you what it is. We try to find out as best we can, and that's why I was so gobsmacked regarding the Xbox One came up back on the Sunday, because Focus Gillimer, who was one of the big guys, he came onto Discord and said, "Oh, what's going on?" He said, "Oh, I'll try and contact someone." And that's obviously when I posted, and he came back and said, "Look, no one's got back to me yet, but obviously somebody did see it and obviously worked on the Xbox One and got that done, and obviously the PS4 one got done today." I've had nothing official why or what it happened. All I got from Nethos was that was the worst time the game could have gone down on a Saturday night, because because obviously they don't work on the Sunday. It's just the way it is. It's not a big massive company like Microsoft or something like that. And unfortunately, when stuff like this happens, it happens, isn't it?
Yeah. So. We've experienced it heaps of times with the Fable League. Like one of the guys, John Norman, for the Premier League that we were talking about before. He organises a draft day where we all jump out of the league, join another league. It's ridiculously convoluted and complicated, the way you have to go about doing it to get the marketplace to work.
Yeah.
But then every single time we either have server issues or like maintenance.
Yeah.
On draft day, it's just jinxed. It doesn't matter when we organise it. Like it's just always seems to be jinxed.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that happens. Yeah, it's annoying, But at the end of the day, it's once the game's been purchased, it's effectively a free service that you're getting. So I try not to get too annoyed about it.
Well, that's it. It is, isn't it? I mean, it is frustrating, and I suppose it's just the way the way the world is now, where everybody seems to work any day of the week. Back in the day, Sundays hardly anyone worked, but now it's expected of them.
But everyone,
and
a lot of people think of IT companies as these huge conglomerates that have hundreds of programmers and things like that, and it's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? And they're not. And like I say,
everyone thinks of like the Microsoft or Google offices.
Yeah,
thousands of people all working in one huge building.
Yep. And I think that's what a lot of people thought Cyanide were, and it's like, no, it's not. And it's frustrating. I mean, I had obviously.
It is, but.
We had.
We all had game. We've had to extend leagues for a week because of it and things like that.
We've obviously done the same, and obviously we had the PS4 playoffs games because obviously that ends on Monday for the first round, so we wanted to get them all in, and that's been messed up. But sometimes these things happen; they don't deliberately do it; it just happens, and we just got to deal with it. It's not like anybody's dad or anything like that, and
exactly.
It's just the way it is. Talking about the playoffs.
To be honest, I think there's a lot of us that could do with a day off occasionally.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I went on Grand Theft Auto and did some crazy shit with the lads and that. So I wouldn't have done that if the game was
nice.
On. I tried to force myself onto the PC, because I've obviously got on the PC as well, and the PC they weren't affected, but I just could not bring myself to it. So I'll have a day off. One thing I want to talk to you about, and obviously I know you're not as much into Champions Ladder, but we have got a problem at the moment with, and I feel for Tizzle Bizzle, because he is really trying his best here. But obviously the PC, the playoff season now, they're up and running. The PS4s, they're almost at the end of their first leg or first round, and we're at this point where the Xbox One has not even started yet. They haven't even got 32 players. Now,
I know.
It is a concern, because obviously I'm an admin, as Tizzle Bizzle and Soul Hunter and all the rest are, and I know that they wasn't too chuffed about the PS4 with teams qualifying with played 4, won 4, lost none, so like goblins and stuff like that. And like me and Tizzle Bizzle was going through obviously the records and stuff like that, and I think we've offered an invite to a team what had like won none, drawn 1, lost 3 or something like that. Because
what the hell?
Yeah. And the thing is,
how?
Yeah, but because nobody else had played that race. And believe it or not, it was Skaven. And the top team, for some reason, they didn't accept the ticket. Then the only other Skaven team in there had a ridiculously bad record. And we can't even get him at the moment. So if he doesn't play, the admins are going to have to go to Nethos and say, look, we haven't got a Skaven participant. We're going to have to give it to another wildcard. But does not look good. At all. I mean, I was gobsmacked with Skaven. No. I mean, out of all of them, that was one of those I thought, well, everyone
that's
plays.
Ridiculous.
It is. I mean,
I would have jumped in and played a couple of games at the end of the season. That's for sure.
Yeah, you'd have got in.
Spotted that.
But it's not just that. There's a few of them, and there's a few with really poor records. Now, that's not Tizzle Bizzle's fault or anybody else's. But it's like I said on a few shows back when I was running into space all the time. If you guys want the Champions League or the cash or whatever, you've got to back it. Yes, I know. The impression I get on the Xbox is, like Fable and all that is the real deal. That is where everyone has all the fun. That's great. But if you want the Champions Ladder as, even if it's just a sad thing for you guys to do, you have to look after it, and by looking after it is playing it. I'm not saying you have to be 24/7 or hardcore, but people got to play in it because it's gonna be. I don't even know. I mean, I'm only just guessing, but if Nethos is annoyed with a Goblin 4-0 team going through, they've got to go to and say, you know what? Guess what? We haven't got a Skaven qualification, and this guy, he's accepted his ticket, but he's won 1, lost 4, and he's qualified. Then they're going to look at it and go, why are we running this, or why are we giving cash out?
Why are we funding it?
Why we do? We don't need to. And like Hunter and all them work the backside off to get the champion ladder to the Xbox, because obviously he was on the PC. It pretty much quickly went onto the PS4, but there was a reluctance, or it looked like a reluctance that the Xbox wasn't going to get it due to the fan base. They worked hard to get it. They've got it. So getting the hard thing to get it and then to get the cash as well. I was like, wow, that is really good of Synard.
That surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, I surprised the shit out of me. And then I see it, and I'm like, oh my god, why are they not supporting it? This is great. And obviously, season 9 there was no cash involved, but season 10's massive now, because if season 10 it just dies off, then I'll tell you now, they're not going to flog a dead horse. It's as simple as that.
No. I think we're seeing, I mean, you'd know better than I would, but I'd probably wager that there's been substantially more games played.
Yeah, there should be
this season to this point of the season. I'm pretty sure when you look at the records of the top teams and things like that, you can see that people are playing a lot. People are playing a lot more. When you look at the front page and you see how many teams have played in excess of 20 games.
Yeah. I mean, money talks at the end of the day. And people like Drix and that, they want
because the thing with oh, sorry, go on.
I'll just say there's a lot of the big names what wasn't playing in the last season where there's no money involved. Now there's money involved. They're coming across from the PC and all that onto the Xbox to try and get a slice of the pie. So it's important that we're not expecting breakout numbers, but they've got to be a lot better than season 9, because obviously at the end of the day, it's a business. And if they're not getting nothing for their, because the way I'd look at it, if it was me and I'm putting money, say, hey, look, you can win this amount of money, I'd expect to see the figures be up. If they're not, then I'm thinking, well, why am I costing myself money? And that's the thing. Like I say, it has improved.
But I think season 9 ran into that a lot because of, because all the really competitive end coaches, and I had this conversation with Steve Hunter and Trevor, and those guys on the Facebook group, like all the ultra competitive guys, like you said, they wouldn't have played in season 9.
Yeah.
They would have just gone, bugger it, but would they have played in season 9 on any platform? I think, I don't have these statistics, but I'd put money on it that, there was a drop on PS4 and there was a drop on PC as well. There was no money involved for season 9.
I think
so. I think it would.
Trip's in the chat. I don't know if he can check that for me, but I think the PS4 was pretty okay. I'm not saying it'd be more than obviously.
I mean, obviously they're a larger group. They're a larger group in general. So but I think there was I could be wrong. I don't know. As I said, I don't have access to those statistics, but
I'm not sure. I just when I was looking at.
But I think the thing on Xbox is because you have Fabble, where there's so many ongoing leagues, and you've got the blood. Like we had our Bloodbowl tournament coming up, which has just kicked off and is in round 2 at the minute or 3. I think there was a lot of people trying to qualify for that as well during season 9, and the fact that when it was like I could play in a league where, I get a pat on the back, and I'm not saying, in any way saying that's all that league is. Like there's a lot of kudos involved in that league, but when you take the money out of it, it's like, do I play my team where it's in an ongoing league that could qualify me for a really important tournament, or do I play in the Champions League where I just get well done, you're awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it was a combination of those factors where there was no money, there was a big tournament going on in another league, that a lot of us also play in and things like that. I think that those kind of things combined into that big drop off in game numbers in season 9. But hopefully, it'll be right back up there in season 10. I'm playing a lot more.
Yeah,
I'll be the first one to admit it. I'm playing more often, and I think when you look at the top 10 list, I think all of them are playing a lot more often, not just the half a dozen at the top that are on 30 plus games.
Yeah, I think that's the impression I got, because obviously with Fable and all that sort of stuff. I got what everyone was doing, and I don't blame them for that. All I was trying to make people aware is, all right, you can keep doing Fable, that's fine, but don't be surprised in a season or two time, all of a sudden, where's the champion ladder gone, or where's the cash prize gone?
Absolutely,
that's what's going to happen. And like I said, obviously playing for cash
if there's not enough support, like you say,
obviously.
But I also think playing for cash, don't get me wrong, I'm not in any way upset that it's there, but I think sometimes that can bring out, the worst in people and certain people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I think we've seen with all the grief that's gone on various different chats and on the Facebook group about Kaz, people are getting a lot more wound up than they normally would.
Yeah.
And that's, and yeah, it's a tough one. Like because we all want this to be a success. All of the Fable, a lot of the Fable admins are admins, in the Champions League as well. So obviously, people like Engel and that, they all want this to be a success. It's not like we want, Fable to succeed at the expense of the Champions League. We want both to be awesome.
Yeah. That's it.
Then that just means more players for everyone to play against.
Yeah.
Which is at the end of the day what everyone playing Blood Bowl should want. Yeah. More people to play.
And that's it. That's basically it. The good thing about the Champion Ladder, or is on the PS4, what we do anyway, is you can pick a controller, click on it, and you play a game, and it means something. So I can try and get myself up there, or develop a team, and so I can see, because obviously Xbox is still new to me. It's still all hazy, but I'm thinking, God, I remember like SL Hunt and the gang were fighting so hard to get this, and they get it. And I just didn't want people to think, get complacent and think, oh, well, it's going to be here all the time. They may keep it all the time, but they may lose the cash prize. So if you bother about the cash, then support it.
I have no idea what the cutoff point would be for them, where they consider it to be successful. You'd have to, you'd need to talk to people at Cyanide about that. But I agree. We need, if we need to play in it, the more games that get played in it, the more Cyanide will look at it and go, it's worth doing.
Oh, yeah, because if they see a spike in interest, especially when it's the cash season, because this is what I said to Tizzle, I said, look, if there's a spike, they'll say, crikey, you know what, when we put cash on for the Xbox, they really get behind it. If they look at the end of the season and there's really no movement, or only a little bit of movement, they'll think, really, well, why are we doing it? And this is the same for the PS4, this is the same for the PC, it's not just about the Xbox, but obviously when you're struggling to...
But when it's a smaller group like it is on the Xbox, it becomes a lot more evident a lot quicker.
Oh, yes.
Especially when you do have... you do have another very, very, very successful league going. Yeah. It becomes a lot more obvious.
Yeah.
Whereas on the PC, it's you've got this huge player pool, so if 10% of them stop playing, you don't really miss them as much.
Absolutely, that is spot on.
Of course, all those statistics and numbers were completely made up, but you get the point.
Yeah. And that's basically what it is, isn't it? The thing is, it's like if I just feel for the admins, because it's obviously 32 tickets, they can't fill 32 positions. That's a worry, and like I said, it looks like
that really
that'll hurt. That'll hurt more than because
especially like Skaven. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Did everyone just delete their teams? How did that happen? There was only one guy playing Skaven, and he played 4 games and lost 3 of them.
Yeah, so it was some bad insane. Record. I know that. He was a bad record. There's a few with bad records. I think he invited three teams, and we went through the records. We're like, oh my god, they're not going to be happy with them records. But we've got no other option. We've got to go by the rules, and the rules state they are offered the ticket next. But that's the sort of damning verdict where obviously saying that they look through all the PS4s and they're like, do you know what? We're not happy with the PS4. That team got through with 4 wins, no losses, no draws. And then what's this? No wins, 1 draw, 3 losses, and they get through.
No wins, and he's qualifying.
And what's this? There's no.
But when there's money involved, you can't say. Yeah. No Skaven team though. That's unbelievable. Even for a season with no money, that's ridiculous.
And this is
I totally agree.
This is the
that's
concern.
Crazy.
This is the concern I've got, because obviously, I want the Xbox to be as successful as the PS4. There's no reason why it can't be. But at the end of the day, Cyanide are looking at stuff like this, and they see that. If it was my business, and I'm looking at this going, really? You're struggling to get 32 players, and there's no Skaven? Because they're all about diversity. It's their showpiece, so they want every single race to be shown, all the diversity. So people even when they're on Twitch, like, oh, look at them rats, they're real cool. Where's the rats on the Xbox? Oh, well, sorry, nobody qualified. What? like 6 weeks and nobody qualified, and that's the issue.
Nobody even got a win. Nobody even got a single win with them. That's crazy.
I think the first player...
See, especially considering there's always people, like there's always chat on the Facebook group about people, going through, what teams are going to be easy to qualify at the moment. Like, well, there was in season 8 anyway.
I mean, that's just cash again, isn't it? But the thing is, I think that there's a top Skaven, and for some bizarre reason, he didn't accept his ticket. So I don't know what his record was. Maybe he had one of those good records, so nobody bothered, even though there is wildcard spots about. But I know that, obviously, the way the qualification is,
but why go to all the trouble of qualifying and then go, I don't want to play in the finals?
I don't know.
That's just insulting to all the other people,
I don't know. People find it hard to go into their console and click accept ticket. People found that so hard. On the PS4, I am really harsh on people.
We run into it all the time with leagues and stuff, though, man. You have to really be on top of people.
If they've been given a date where it ends, like there's a date, obviously the 29th of November, it ends, this season. I expect within 3 days, unless you've messaged me with a problem, I expect you to accept your ticket. You're all adults. I shouldn't have to be. If you want to play in the playoffs, especially for cash, just accept your ticket. I ain't going to be chasing you. I will give you you've got to accept your ticket. If you don't, I'm going on to the next one, and I will go on to the next one. People like Serious Jess think it's harsh, but it's like, look, if you really want to be in this competition, you'll freaking accept your ticket. 3 days is more than enough, especially if you know that the competition closes at a particular day. If you can't be bothered, or if you can't get to your console,
why not go and play in a different league?
Well, yeah.
If you're not interested in playing in the finals, go and play in the open ladder. Go and play in, any of the other leagues. Go and play somewhere else. Like, don't play in the Champions ladder and then not want to play in the Championship.
Yeah.
That's like getting promoted to the Premier League and then going, nah, we're going to stay in Division 1. We can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Like, what?
So it is what
that
it
is frustrating. I can imagine that's really frustrating for you guys, because I know how frustrating it is. Like, even running I was running the beginners coaching league in Fabble, and you'd look at the thing at the end of the week and you'd go, like, 6 people out of 8 have played their games, and this is for your benefit, guys. We're trying to help you become better players, and you're still not responding when people try and arrange your games. Like. It is. Any league organisation or like organising online forums and stuff like that can be frustrating sometimes.
I think the thing what frustrates me is, like, you'll get to a point where like 26 of the 27 of the coaches will accept their ticket within, say, 40 hours. They'll be right on it, and then you always have 1 or 2 people who just wait ages or drag their feet. And then the other coach is like, well, when are we going to start? When are we going to start? So they get annoyed. Everyone gets annoyed. And he's like, God, all it is accept a ticket. I don't have a problem if someone texts me saying, look, I'm away from a console for 3-4 days, but I want to be in it. Then I'll extend it.
Yeah, absolutely. We run into that all the time.
I'll put a filler in there. And then put them in when they're back. So that's not an issue. It's when people just don't even tell us why there's going to be a delay when it's a problem.
Yeah, just completely go radio silent on you.
Yeah. So anyway, we're overrunning. So we'll get to the most important part of the show before we wrap it up then. The Battle of the Consoles. Now, the Xbox was shook to the core last week because they got 6 right. I think it was 6 right they got. And they expected to win it. But that dastardly anorak PS4 guy, Teddy Tom, beat them, even though they got 6 right. He beat them. So it's 5-3 to the PS4 crew. So it's even more pressure on you to get this in. Because if you lose this week, I think it's over. I think the PS4 will have the bragging rights. But we will see. So it's basically 10
I'll do
seconds
my best, but...
in 60 seconds, basically, as many as you can. So I'm just going to get the timer right, and then we will get it done. And like I said, they're nothing too crazy. So, I don't think they're too crazy anyway. So
we'll see how I get on.
Yeah, well, I'm useless to things like this, so obviously because I have to go on my phone, I've got to put the ultimate timer thing on.
Well, I have won several Bugman's pub quizzes, but as I said to you before, 40k is more my area of expertise than Blood Bowl.
All right, okay. Well, here we go.
I've won the pub quiz at the 40k tournament at Warhammer World a few times.
Oh well, now you're. Now the pressure's on then. No wonder everyone's expecting you to bring on the tape.
No, I'm out of my element in Blood Bowl, but we'll see.
There we go. go. Just getting it to 60 seconds. So obviously, I will start the timer when basically I ask the first question.
Yep.
There we go. Right, here we go then. Right, are you ready? Here we go. Right,
Go for it.
The stat line of Deeproot Strong Branch.
27110.
Correct. What costs more, a Minotaur or a Croxigo?
Minotaur.
Correct. Does Disturbing Presence stack?
Yes.
What is the TV value of the Chaotic All-Stars roster?
Oh, God knows. 2200.
Wrong. Name the star player with the chainsaw.
Yeah, that was a complete guess.
Yeah. Name the star player with a chainsaw.
The star player with a chainsaw.
In the Kislev team. Can take.
Helmet?
Correct. Can the Ogre team take Bomber Dribble Snot?
No.
Wrong. Who costs more, Brick Farth and Grotty or Big Bertha? And this is your last
Brick
question.
Farth.
Wrong. They both cost the same.
Oh,
yes, I am a twat.
Oh, it's a trick question, you bastard.
I always try to sneak one of those in somewhere. You did well though. You did extremely well. So you got Deeproot Strong Branch right.
How many was that?
I'm checking now. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 right, I do believe. Because the Minotaur costs 150, the Crossgo costs 140, so that was right. Disturbed Presence to stack. And yes, what is the TV vote of the Chaotic All Stars? It's 3,950 because it's full of all Chaos Stars.
Jesus, I was a bit out there.
Yeah, Helmet. I was impressed. You got Helmet right. And can the Ogre team take Bomber's Trouble Snot? Yes, they can. Believe it or not.
Yes, they can.
And that was a
guess. Yeah,
that was a harsh one. Brickfarth and Grotty or Big Bertha. Yes, they both cost the same. That was nasty of me. But people have won before, so you just never know. So there we go. Right, that is us done, guys. Thanks again for Gary for joining us. We've had a lot of fun, and obviously thanks for everybody.
Yeah, mate, it's been good fun.
And wish you all the best for your Dark Elf Crusade or your Lizardman. I don't know how many teams you got in there. And obviously, I'm hoping you'll rip it up in Fable as you always do. And that's us done, guys.
I'm going for my Dark Elves this year. We'll see how they do.
Go Dark Elves. Just try and, if you bump into that space magic, make sure you kill that colour piece. That colour piece has got to die a horrible death.
My plan is just to avoid Chaos Dwarves with their all bloody tackle teams.
Oh, I don't know. No class, them teams. Them coaches got no class who go in with Chaos Dwarfs, I'll tell you that right now. But
all you Chaos Dwarf players like me and you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So hopefully, as long as there's no crashes, we'll be back next Sunday. And I may have an interesting guest next Sunday. It depends if I can get him on or not. But that's us all done. Thanks again for Gary, aka Wraithlord, for coming onto the show. Thanks for everybody in the Twitch stream, as always. And people who have come in late and have missed the rest of the show, go onto my YouTube channel. It'll all be on there sometime today. So thanks very much, guys. Take care, and we'll see you next week. And everybody, don't forget, if you beat Space Magic, you've got a free trip to New York, apparently, on Space Magic's expense. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Take care, and see you later.
See ya.